Every week, roughly 4.5 million people in the U.S. start some kind of side hustle. And by next year, about 90% of them will have either quit or made less than minimum wage for their time. I've spent the last few months pulling apart data from the IRS, surveys from Bankrate and Zapier, and dozens of real income reports from people who've tried everything from print-on-demand to freelancing to dropshipping. And I found a pattern. The side hustles that fail share three specific characteristics. The side hustles that succeed share three different ones. This video is a data-backed breakdown of both, and at the end, I'm going to give you the three models with the best success-to-effort ratio that still work right now. No affiliate marketing for courses. No hype. Let's look at the actual numbers. Bankrate's 2024 survey found that 44% of Americans with a side hustle make less than $200 a month from it. The Zapier Side Hustle report found that only 9% of side hustlers earn more than $2,000 a month consistently. And IRS Schedule C data, which captures sole proprietor income, shows that over 60% of new sole proprietors report zero or negative net income in their first operating year. That is a brutal failure rate for something that's been sold to an entire generation as the path to freedom. So what's going wrong? Reason 1. They chose a hustle, not a business. There's a difference between a task you do for money and a scalable income system. Selling handmade candles on Etsy is a task. Building a candle brand with repeat customers, email subscribers, and wholesale relationships is a business. Most side hustles never graduate from task to system, which means the income stops the moment you stop working. Task versus system. One scales, one exhausts. Reason 2. They competed on price in a commoditized market. The three most popular side hustles, freelance writing, dropshipping, and gig delivery, are all commodities. When everyone is offering the same thing, the only competition is price. And when you're competing on price, you're always one underbidder away from losing the client. You can't out-cheap a person in a lower cost of living country or an algorithm that automates part of your service. Reason 3. They had no distribution strategy. Making a great product or offering a great service is table stakes. If nobody sees it, it doesn't matter. The biggest mistake new side hustlers make is spending 80% of their time on production, writing content, making products, delivering services, and 20% on distribution. It needs to be the opposite. The number one job of any early-stage business is getting the offer in front of the right people. Full stop. Now let's talk about the three models that actually work. Model 1. High-ticket B2B service. Productized consulting. Pick one specific outcome you can deliver for a business. Not a category of work. A specific outcome. I help e-commerce brands reduce cart abandonment by 15% in 90 days. I help SaaS companies improve their onboarding email sequence to increase trial conversion. Productized, specific, measurable. Why does this work? Because you're solving a high-value problem for businesses that have budgets. A single client at $1,500 a month means you're already past what 80% of side hustlers earn. 2 clients puts you at $3,000 a month, a real number that actually changes your financial situation. Distribution strategy. LinkedIn outreach plus one piece of content per week on your specific topic. You don't need thousands of followers. You need 5 good clients. Model 2. A niche newsletter with sponsored revenue. A newsletter with 3,000 to 5,000 highly targeted subscribers in a B2B niche can command $300 to $800 per sponsored placement. That's $600 to $1,600 a month for 2 sponsorship slots per issue at 2 issues per month. No product, no inventory, no customer service. Why this works? Email is the only owned channel. Social platforms change algorithms. Ad costs increase, but your subscriber list is yours. And in a B2B niche, The audience value is 10 to 20 times higher than a general consumer list. Owned audience beats rented reach. Every time. Distribution strategy, guest posting in relevant communities, LinkedIn content, a simple SEO landing page. Growth is slow at first and then compounds. Model 3, a narrow digital product solving one problem. Not a course, not a membership, one product. A $27 to $97 template, calculator, swipe file, or checklist that solves a single, painful problem for a specific person. A lease negotiation template for small retail business owners. A cash flow spreadsheet for freelancers. A client onboarding Notion template for service providers. Why this works? Low production cost, zero marginal cost per sale, and it runs while you sleep. The key is specificity. The narrower the problem and the audience, the higher the perceived value and the easier the marketing. Distribution. One SEO blog post targeting the exact search term your buyer types at 11 p.m. when they're frustrated. One Pinterest board. One Reddit thread where you answer the question and mention the tool. That's it. No social media required. Now here's the framework for choosing your side hustle. Ask yourself 3 questions. Question 1. Is this solving a problem for people